Hello and welcome to my channel, and if you have already been to my channel, then welcome back. My name is Kalina and I'm an expert in public relations and mass communications. And before we get to the topic, I would like to invite you to like and share this video and also subscribe for my channel. I'm really trying to grow it, and if you like my content, you will support me very much if you do so. So now let's get to the actual topic. So, as a communication expert, of course, I'm going to talk about communication. And communication is not about the words and the phrases, and it's not even about the way you say them. It's not even about the way you express yourself. Because, of course, this matters, but this is still on a surface level. Because when we communicate on multiple different levels. So our communication has at least two, and sometimes actually even more than two different layers of communication. And what we call communication is exchange of meaning. So here's how things are happening. Basically, a human being, we have our senses, we have our ears, we have our eyes, we have all other senses plus the sixth sense that a lot of people think that it doesn't exist, but it does, in my opinion, because I've experienced it. So we have all of those senses in order to pretty much orient ourselves for the environment in the world that we live in. And when we do that, this environment includes other people. So basically, the way that we communicate, what communication is, we are letting other people know what we're all about, because they're orienting themselves about the environment, and we are there as a part of this environment, and we have to exchange some meaning with them, like who are we, what are we doing there, and what they can expect from us. And of course that was different during the tribal times. If you meet another tribe, that could be a potential danger on a physical level. Right now we're doing the same. We're not in a tribal society, but within, let's say, a company or professional environment of any kind. That's what we're doing. We're pretty much evaluating and assessing ourselves, and basically a huge part of communication is to let the other person know who you are, and you communicate that, and it's rarely by just announcing who you are. I'm not going to communicate to somebody that I am a reliable person by saying, I am a reliable person, you can rely on me. Do you think that this is going to work? Well, it will, if I back it up with the right energy, if I truly feel like a reliable person, if I truly act as a reliable person, if they also can assess from the other layers of the communication that yes, this person is reliable, but only the words itself, they're on a surface. Basically, the written and the verbal communication is that meaning that we have put into sounds and signs, because the sounds and signs by themselves don't actually have that meaning. They're like scratches, and the meaning is placed in them by people and by consciousness, So the word itself, if I'm speaking words, let's say if I suddenly speak Bulgarian, people who don't speak Bulgarian will not understand me. This is my native language. If I speak English, but some people don't speak English, they will not understand me. They will just hear sounds. But then we put meaning, like cognitive meaning, for that sounds. But then we can put even deeper meaning for those sounds, that is energetic. So this is why very often maybe you're going to hear, let's say, some kind of conversation, or you're going to watch, let's say, listen to a song on another language. You don't necessarily understand the meaning, but you feel the energy of that song. So this is a whole different layer of communication. We communicate on a deeper level. So back to how this works when people are assessing who you are. People are communicating with you cognitively, with their conscious minds, but also with their subconscious. They're interacting with your subconscious. With their nervous system, they're interacting with your nervous system. So anything that you feel, anything that you're insecure about or maybe secure about, people will feel it, because this is a part of assessing the environment. And now, guess how people are accepting the larger amount of information about the world? Through our eyes. There are other species that recognize each other, let's say, assess the world and the environment by smell, or by other, let's say, the whales, they are going to throw some kind of like a signal, like a sound signal, and then they will have a return of that signal, and that's how they will understand what kind of animal is over there before seeing it. So there are different ways of orientation, but we humans are orienting ourselves mostly through our sense of sight, through our eyes. So it's what we see. So when you think of that, you can imagine that the way the other person looks is one of the most important things that people assess. And it's not always fair, but people assess each other through their looks, through our looks, basically. But it's not about what you think, probably, because maybe you think that you have to be the most beautiful person. And yes, people can appreciate beauty, but it's not necessarily about being beautiful or good looking, because sometimes you may actually be good looking and people still assess you as somebody who is not confident, or somebody who is not matching the environment. It is basically the way you maintain yourself, the way you have created your sense of style. Are you appropriate for the environment? Are you following the dress code? Are you matching basically the vibe of that particular space? And people are paying attention to what they see, mostly. People are actually literally actively paying attention of what they see. So there is another thing that is important more than your clothes. I mean, your clothes are important, don't go out without clothing, but there's something more important, which is your habits that you exude. So your habits are small activities that you do subconsciously on day-to-day basis, like this is the norm for you. And a lot of times your habits can reveal the environment that you live within, and a lot of other things about you, including, are you reliable? So people are assessing each other, people are exchanging this kind of information and meaning on multiple different layers, not only verbally, also by actions, by behavior, by the way they look, and also on even deeper level by the state of our nervous system, by our vibrational state, and all kinds of things like that. So this is what the communication is all about. You are communicating before you even start talking. This is pretty much the norm, and this is everywhere. So this is for today's video. I would invite you one more time to like, share and subscribe for the channel, and also I will leave a link below to get you familiar with my work. And basically this is it. Have a nice day.